Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be learning how to make this keep right bustier blouse, which is also called a Christian mother blouse or a madam blouse. Now as you all can see, this blouse has beading designs as well as puffy sleeves. So if you are interested in this, stick around and let's get started. Now for this blouse, we're going to be drafting on a fold, and as you all can see, I've gone ahead to mark my start line, chest line, bust line, under bust line, the waistline and the hip line. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to come down from the start line by 3 inches, and I came in by 3 inches as well, and then I connected both points together to form my neckline. After that, from the start line, I came in by half of my shoulder measurement plus half an inch allowance, and I marked that down. And I also went ahead to mark it on the chest line as well. After marking it, I connected both points together with a ruler. Next, on the shoulder line, I came down by half an inch and then I connected it to the neckline to form my shoulder slope. And then on the straight line that we drew, I found the midpoint of it. I came out by half an inch. And on the chest line, I marked quarter of the bust measurement plus half an inch allowance. And then I connected all these points together to form the armhole curve. After that, from the slope that we drew, I came up by half an inch and then I connected it with a straight rule. Now this is going to serve as an allowance for joining of the shoulders. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to draft the darts. So the first thing I did was to come in on the bust line, under bust line, waist and hip line by 4 inches, which is half of my client's nipple to nipple measurement. After that, I just connected them with a straight ruler. And the next thing I went ahead to do was on the inner part of the line, I marked half an inch, and on the outer part of the line, I marked 1.5 inch on both the bust line, the under bust line, the waistline, and the hip line. Now, after marking that, I went ahead to connect them with a ruler, and then on the bust line, I came down by half an inch. This is to eliminate any form of pointiness in the bust area, and from that half an inch, I connected to the line on both sides with a curved rule. Now from the bust line again, I came up by half an inch, and then from that half an inch, I went ahead to connect it to the midpoint of the armhole using my curved rule. Now from that curved line, I came on both sides by half an inch, and then after marking that, I'll go ahead and connect it back to the half an inch above the bust line. Now this line, when joined together, you see that we have removed 1 inch from the armhole. So to replace it back, I came out from the other side of the armhole by 1 inch, and then I connected it back to the base of the armhole. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark the round body measurements. On the chest line, I marked quarter of the chest measurement plus 1 inch for that, as well as 1.5 inch sewing allowance. The same thing I marked on the chest line, I marked on the bust line. On the waistline, I marked quarter of the waist measurement plus the 2 inches that we took, as well as 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Now on the hip line, I went ahead to mark quarter of the hip measurement plus the 2 inches as well as 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Now for the sewing allowance of the dart, we're not going to add that here. While cutting it on the pattern, I'm going to add it exactly on the dart region. Okay. So when I was done marking all the points, I went ahead to connect them with a ruler. Now another thing I went ahead to do, because my clients didn't want the blouse to be too tight, so on the sides of the blouse I came out by quarter of an inch just for ease. So if you times this by 4, I added 1 inch ease to the whole blouse. Now to make sure that the sides of both the front and the back aligns, I went ahead to draft a bust dart. So for this bust dart, I came down from the bust line by 1 inch. I also came in from that 1 inch by my 1.5 inch sewing allowance. And then from the 1.5 inch, I connected it to the bust points. And that was it. Now for the down of the blouse, I do not want it to be straight. So I came up by 1.5 inch, came in by my 1.5 inch sewing allowance. From the sewing allowance, I used a curved rule to connect it to the midpoint of the blouse. Now, another thing I went ahead to do was to mark where I want my neckline to stop. So from the start line, I marked 5 inches, 5.5 inches, which is going to serve for the neck depth as well as sewing allowance for the neck. So I marked that down and connected that with a rule, and we'll come to that later. So after that, I went ahead to cut my pattern. So after cutting, as you all can see, I did not cut the dart because I want to cut the neckline first. So I opened up my pattern paper, and for this keep right neckline, usually one side goes slanted to the other side and the other side just comes down. So here I'm just like drafting the slanted side. So using my curved rule from the side that I want to be slanted, I slanted it to the other side of the neck. So while slanting, we want to make sure that the slanted line stops at the 5 inches mark that we did. And this is what I did. And when I was done with that, I went ahead to cut it out. Now for the other side of the neck, from our armhole line, you come in by how wide you want the other side to be. So I want mine to be 2.5 inches wide plus half an inch for sewing allowance, that is 3 inches. So I marked that down and I went ahead to cut it out. So as you all can see, I'm done with our neckline and this is how it's going to be. After that, I went ahead to fold my pattern again so that I can cut out the darts. So I'm done cutting out the dart. So when placing the other neckline, we'll just place it directly on the dart line. Now for the bust dart, I went ahead to close it as well. So following the line, I opened it up but not completely. And then I used the pattern to cover the bust dart, and using a tape, I went ahead to seal it down. Now I'm done joining the darts and this is it. So on the down part of the pattern paper, I'm going to add 1 inch sewing allowance, while for the neckline, I'm going to add half an inch sewing allowance on the down and on the side, just on one side. Now for the back, I started by drafting my start line, and from the start line, I went ahead to mark the chest line, the bust line. I marked the under bust, which I was not supposed to, the chest line, the bust line, the back waistline, hip line, and allowance. So after that, I marked that again and I connected it with a ruler. Now after that, I came in from the start of the paper by 1 inch from the up to the down, which is going to serve as my zipper allowance line. And then I came in by 3 inch from the start line and I came down by 1 inch. I connected the both of them together to form the neckline. After that, I came in again by half of the shoulder measurement plus half-inch allowance. I marked that on both the start line and chest line and connected it together. On the shoulder line, I came down by half an inch, connected it to the neckline to form the shoulder slope. Then on the chest line, I came in by a quarter of the chest measurement plus allowance, and then I connected it to the midpoint of the straight line that we drew. Now from the slope, I came up by half an inch, which is going to serve as sewing allowance for the shoulder. After that, on the waistline, I came in by 1 inch to eliminate any bulginess on the waistline. I connected it to both the up of the paper and also down to the hip line. Now, when I was done from the slanty line that we just made now, I retraced it again by 1 inch just to retrace our zip allowance line. So now that is it for the pattern. The next thing we're going to do is to draft our darts. Yes, we're going to be doing that for this blouse. So for the darts on the waistline, I came in by 4 inches, which is the nipple to nipple measurement. I came in by the same 4 inches on the chest line, and then 5 inch below the waistline, I came in by that 4 inches as well, and then I connected them all together. So on the waistline again, I came on both sides of the 4 inches by half an inch. From that half an inch, I went ahead to connect it down to the 5 inch and up to the chest line, as you all can see. And this is it for our darts. Now that we're done with that, the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark the round body measurements. On the chest line, I marked quarter of the chest measurements plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. The same thing on the chest line, I marked on the bust line. Now on the waistline, I marked quarter of the waist measurements plus this 1 inch dart, as well as 1.5 inch sewing allowance. So on the hip line, I just marked quarter of the hip measurements plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. And as you all can see, all these measurements, I marked it from the second line, not from the zipper allowance line. So here I just slanted the side of the bag just like we did for the front. I came up by 1.5 inch, came in by the same 1.5 inch and just slanted it to the midpoint of the bag. After that, I went ahead to cut out the pattern. Now for this back pattern, we're going to cut one exactly as the pattern is. And then for the side that is going to join directly to the keep right neckline, I came in from the armhole by 3 inches so I should align with the keep right neckline. And then we're going to cut it just like this. So one side will be like this and the other side, the neckline will be just like this one we're drafting. Now for this blouse, I used a lace material, a doll face and lining. So as you all can see, I've gone ahead to cut out the front. I've also added allowance on the darts and on the neckline as well. So this is it. I cut out a lace doll face and a lining for all the patterns. Why for the neckline, I just used a doll face for both the lining and the main material. So here I went ahead to turn the front over, and as you all can see, I've also cut out padding for it. I have a video on padding if you want to see how to cut it out, and after that I'll go ahead and join it up. So for the neckline as well, I'll just go ahead and sew it on the down and on the side, and then I'll turn it out. Now for the back pattern, as you all can see, I also cut it out as well. Now for the dart at the back, I went ahead to locate the waist point. On that waist point, I came in by the nipple to nipple measurement plus 1 inch zip allowance. Then from that waist point again, I came down by 5 inches. Came in by the same nipple to nipple plus zip allowance. Then I located the chest point, came in by the same nipple to nipple plus 1 inch zip allowance. And then I connected them all together. Then from the waistline, I came in by 1/2 inch and I connected it to the 5 inches as well as the chest point. So from the waist point, I will sew up to the chest, and from the waist, I will sew down to the half 5 inch. And the same thing I did for that pattern, I did for the other patterns of the back. Now for the collar design on the neckline, I started by joining the neckline together on my pattern paper using a tape. So after joining them together, from following the curve of the neckline, I came down by 5 inches all the way from the shoulder to the armhole region. So this 5 inches is going to serve as both the width of the collar and sewing allowance. After that, I went ahead to cut it out. And after cutting, I used that to cut it on a fabric. So I cut two pieces for both the lining and the main collar. When I was done with that, I reduced that pattern by 1.5 inch and then I went ahead to cut a smaller size. So this is the smaller size and I also cut out two pieces for it as well. So from the down side of the collar, we're going to sew it down using 1/2 inch allowance. And then after sewing, this is what we have. So if we place the smaller collar on the big side, this is how it's going to be. Now for attaching of the bead, I'm going to use a pearl bead for it and I'm going to use my needle and a white thread to attach it. Now to attach this beading, I started 1/2 inch away from the collar because we need 1/2 inch for sewing allowance, and then I put in my needle at that 1/2 inch. When I inserted my needle, I just put in one pearl bead, and then on the same spot where I brought out my needle from, I'm going to take it back on that same spot. I don't know if you all understand. And after taking it back, I'll just arrange my bead to make sure that the hole does not face upwards. And that is it. So to attach another one, you will leave like 1/4 inch space so that the first bead will not be, would have enough space to sit properly. And then you bring in your bead again, put your second bead, draw it out and pass that needle through the same place you brought it out from. Arrange your beads so that the hole does not face upwards. and that is it. So this is what I will keep doing till I reach the end of the collar. So after inserting each bead, always make sure to leave at least quarter of an inch space so that each pearl bead will be able to sit properly before inserting the next one. And when you get to the armhole region of the collar, this collar piece, remember to stop at least 1.5 inch away from the end, which is going to serve as your sewing allowance, or at least stop 2 inches away just to be on safe side. So I'm done fixing the bead and this is how it is. As you all can see, I also left my 1.5 inch on the armhole side. Now for the front, as you all can see, I've gone ahead to join it together. So for this collar design, I'm going to arrange it following the curve on the neckline. And then for the other neckline, following the dart line, I'll place it directly on the dart line and then I'll go ahead and pin it down. So when we sew it up, this is how it's going to be. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to place my lining, which I've already joined. I placed it right sides facing each other. So I'll start by sewing on the neckline and then I'll sew on the down first before sewing on the sides. So just to take note, my lining is 1 inch shorter than the actual fabric. So for the back, I've gone ahead to sew the darts. And for the darts, I sewed the darts of the lace and doll face together. And for the lining, I sewed it separately. So I'll start by sewing on the neckline as well. Then I'll sew on the down before sewing on the sides. So as you all can see, I'm done turning the front and you can see how nice it looks. So on the front, I went ahead to sew down the lining on the front side by pushing the collar upwards just to keep the lining in place. Now for the back as well, I've turned it over, but I left a little bit of space on the armhole region, which I'm going to use to turn the shoulder. So now placing the back and the front together, right sides facing each other, I'll use the shoulder of the back to wrap the shoulder of the front, and then I'll sew it together. The same thing I did on the other side. And then when I'm done sewing, this is how it is. So after sewing, I'm going to attach my zip to the back and that was it. Now for the sleeve, there are many ways to cut out a puffy sleeve, but I want this sleeve to be very full, so I went ahead to cut out a full circle flare instead. So after that, I went ahead to locate the midpoint of the flare. So this is me locating the midpoint. After that, I went ahead to divide my client's round armhole measurements by 6.28. Now 6.28 is a constant when dealing with flares. So what I got was 2.5, but I used 3.5 instead because I want it gathered. So from the midpoint, I marked 3.5. And then from that 3.5, I went ahead to mark 3.5 all around it to form a circle. Now following the shorter side of the flare, I opened this flare up and went ahead to cut out the circle that I just marked. Now I'm done cutting it out and this is what we have. So to attach this sleeve, this big side is going to be attached at the shoulder while the other side will be gathered. So I'm done attaching the sleeve to the armhole. As you can see, I've also attached a zipper to the blouse. Now for the down part of the sleeve, I went ahead to create a casing there by folding it up using 1 inch. Now to get that puffy effect, I'm going to insert an elastic into the casing that I made. So the size of this elastic is the measurement of the round sleeve. So using my safety pin, I attached my elastic into the casing. Now after that, I turned the blouse to the wrong side and I went ahead to join it up. Now after sewing it up, this is the result of the blouse. Now for this sleeve, because I used a lace, the lace made it a bit heavy and the sleeve didn't puff up as I expected it to. Maybe this is why the inspiration used just a silk material for their sleeve. But regardless, the blouse still came out beautifully. So if you like my tutorial, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and you can share this to as many people that you think it will be helpful to. Thank you, and I'll see you on my next one.